kidnapped girl begged for help. Bikers didn't hesitate. She was tied, bleeding, and begging for help, and the second the Hell's Angels heard her whisper, everything changed. Backhand index pointing right before the story begins. Skull subscribe to Bikers Hype. Thumbs up, like, and share this video with your friends Red Heart if you love Hell's Angels. Then prove your love. Share this right now and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. The night was crawling with thunder. Wind punched the dark forest from both sides of Highway 12, and rain fell like shattered glass. Cars avoided the route tonight. But the Hell's Angels didn't fear storms. Storms feared them. .3 bikes sliced through the rain, their engines roaring like war drums. Reaper, the club president, tall, scarred, cold-eyed. Diesel, the giant with iron fists. Ghost, the quiet one who noticed everything. They weren't out for trouble tonight. They were simply heading back from a charity ride, raising money for kids' cancer treatment. But fate had a different plan. Lightning flashed, and that's when Ghost saw her, the figure, small, drenched, trembling. Stumbling out of the bushes toward the road, he hit his brakes so hard his Harley screeched across the wet asphalt. The other two bikers stopped instantly. Ghost jumped off his bike. The girl couldn't have been older than 19. Her clothes were torn. Rope burns cut around her wrists. Her lip was bleeding. Her voice was barely a whisper. Please, help me." She collapsed into Ghost's arms, and that was the moment everything changed. They carried her under the highway bridge, shielding her from the storm. Reaper knelt beside her, pulling off his jacket and wrapping it around her shivering body. "What's your name?" he asked gently. She hesitated, shaking violently. Lily." Ever so slowly, she lifted her arm. Her hand still had a piece of duct tape stuck to it. They took me. I escaped. They're coming back." The bikers froze. Reaper's eyes hardened like steel. Diesel unclipped his belt knife. "Go scan the woods." "Who?" Reaper asked. She swallowed. 3 men, black van. They said they'll sell me. Please don't let them take me back." Her voice broke. She sobbed so hard her entire body shook. Reaper placed his hand on her shoulder. "As long as we're here, no one, and I mean no one, is touching you again." Thunder cracked overhead. Deep in the forest, headlights appeared at a black van. Slow. Searching. Diesel muttered, "Those bastards." Ghost stepped forward, adjusting his gloves. They don't know who they're messing with. The van stopped in the middle of the road. The driver opened the door. Standing tall and dangerous, he scanned the wet highway, then shouted, "Lily, come out. We know you're out here." Reaper whispered, "Stay behind me, kiddo." Lily trembled and hid behind his leather vest, clutching the back of his jacket. The men stepped out. 3 of them. .1 had a metal bat. 1 had a knife. The third lifted a flashlight and smirked. "You 3 bikers got something that belongs to us?" Reaper stepped forward, calm, fearless. "She's not property. She's a problem," the man answered, "and we always clean up our mess." He nodded. The man with the bat charged, but Diesel was fast to .1 punch. Boom. Sent the guy flying into the mud. The flashlight guy tried to run back to the van. Ghost tackled him so hard he screamed like a child. The last one, the knife guy, charged toward Lily. Reaper stepped in front of her and twisted the man's wrist until the knife dropped. Then he whispered, "You picked the wrong girl to hurt." 1 hit. Lights out. The forest fell silent again except for Lily's soft sobbing. Ghost stood over the men. "We can't leave them. They'll come back." Reaper nodded. "Call the sheriff. Tell her we found 3 rats crawling around." Diesel dialed immediately. But before the sheriff could arrive, something worse happened. The van door opened again, and a 4th man stepped out, bigger, meaner, armed with a gun. The 4th man pointed the gun straight at Reaper. "Move, and I'll put 3 bullets in that girl." Lily gasped, hiding behind him again. Reaper didn't move. "Not an inch." Ghost whispered to Diesel. "He's waiting for someone, stalling." Diesel nodded. The man laughed, stepping forward to the pouring rain. "You bikers think you're tough? You think you can stop us? We own this area." Reaper slowly reached for Lily's hand behind his back, squeezing it gently, signaling her to stay still. Then he spoke. "Buddy, we're not just bikers." The man smirked. "Oh yeah? Then who are you?" Reaper took 1 step forward. Lightning flashed. His jacket patch glowed. Hell's Angels ID. The man's face drained of color. No. Reaper's voice turned cold. Put the gun down, or I will make sure you never pick one up again. The man panicked, shaking, sweating. And that's when Diesel stepped from behind the pillar and smashed a rock into his arm. The gun flew out his hand, sliding across the wet road. Ghost pinned him instantly. Lily collapsed into Reaper's chest, crying uncontrollably. "It's over, kid," he whispered, wrapping his huge arms around her. "You're safe now. No one's hurting you again." When the sheriff finally arrived, his entire team froze at the scene. 3 kidnappers unconscious. 1 crying teenage girl wrapped in a Hell's Angel jacket. For massive bikers standing over the criminals like guardian monsters, the sheriff, a longtime friend of Reaper, walked over. "Looks like you boys handled things your own way again." Reaper shrugged. Couldn't let them take her. The sheriff nodded slowly. "You saved her life." Lily grabbed Reaper's hand. "Please, don't leave me alone. I don't have anyone." Her voice cracked. She was terrified the moment they would disappear. Reaper knelt in front of her. "Listen, you're coming with us. We're not leaving you until you're safe. Truly safe." She hugged him so tight he felt her shaking bones. The Angels brought Lily back to their clubhouse, a huge converted warehouse lit with warm lights, leather couches, vending machines, and old rock posters. She looked around with wide, innocent eyes. Is it safe here?" Diesel laughed. "Sweetheart, this is probably the safest place in 3 counties." The members gathered around as Reaper explained what happened. Instead of fear, they showed her kindness, warm food, dry clothes, a safe bed, a hot shower. For the first time in days, Lily slept without fear. But her nightmare wasn't over. Because someone else was looking for her. Someone worse, her kidnapper's boss. At dawn, the Angels were eating breakfast when Ghost looked at his phone. His face hardened. "Boss, there's more." "What do you mean?" Reaper asked. Ghost handed him the phone. The missing person alert. Lily Evans, kidnapped, believed to be trafficked. Dangerous men involved. Reaper slammed his fist on the table. "We are not handing her to anyone except her family. And we are ending this trafficking ring. Today." Every biker in the clubhouse stood up, helmets on, jackets zipped, engines roaring. Lily woke up to the sound of Harleys thundering outside. Reaper walked into her room. "Pack whatever you need. You're coming with us." She blinked. "Where?" He smiled softly. "To end your nightmare." They tracked the traffickers to an abandoned factory on the outskirts. The same black vans were parked outside. Reaper's voice became a low growl. "Stay behind me, Lily." She clutched his arm tightly. Dozens of bikers surrounded the building. Reaper signaled. Ghost kicked down the main door. Inside, women, girls tied. Crying. Terrified, Lily gasped. "That could have been me." A voice echoed from the shadows. "Well, look who we have here. The famous Hell's Angels." A tall, bearded man stepped forward. "The boss. Return the girl, and maybe I'll let you leave alive." Reaper stepped forward, face inches away from the man. "You're done." "No, you're done." He snapped his fingers. A dozen armed thugs appeared. Then Reaper smiled. "You brought 12? Outside, engines roared louder and louder. The boss froze. "You should have brought 100. The Angels charged. The thugs panicked. Lily behind the pillars, watching the most brutal rescue she'd ever seen. Punches, boots, chains, screams. Within minutes, the entire gang was on the ground. The Angels freed every single kidnapped girl. Dozens of lives saved. Lily hugged Reaper from behind. "You saved me. You saved all of us." Reaper gently placed his hand over hers. "That's what family does." A week later, Lily stood in front of the clubhouse, wearing a brand-new leather jacket gifted by the Angels. "You don't have to go," Diesel said. "You can stay as long as you want." She smiled with tears in her eyes. "You gave me back my life. I'll never forget any of you." Reaper placed his hand on her shoulder. "If you ever need us, if you ever get scared, if you ever feel alone," he lifted his chin toward their row of Harleys. "Just call. We'll ride." She hugged all 3 of them, Reaper, Ghost, and Diesel, the monsters who became her angels, the Hell's Angels. For 7 days, Lily stayed at the clubhouse. 7 days of safety, warmth, real food, and real sleep. The nightmares were fading. Reaper, Diesel, and Ghost became her protectors, her brothers, her guardians. But on the 8th night, everything changed. The clubhouse was alive with music, old rock songs playing, laughter filling the air, members sharing food and stories. Lily was sitting beside Diesel, learning how to fix a loose bolt on a Harley, when boom, 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 a loud, violent pounding shook the steel front gate. Everyone froze. Reaper walked forward slowly, hand resting on the handle of his knife. Ghost slid closer to the wall, watching the shadows. Diesel whispered to Lily, "Stay behind me. Don't move." She gulped. The pounding continued. Reaper shouted, "Who is it?" A voice answered, tired, desperate, frantic. "Please, someone help me. They're coming for me. Please, open." Lily's blood ran cold. She knew that voice. She whispered, trembling, That's Mia, another girl they kidnapped. I saw her in the warehouse." Diesel didn't wait. He yanked open the gate. Mia stumbled inside, bruised, bleeding, shaking violently. Her hair was tangled, her sweater torn, her face covered in cuts. She collapsed at Reaper's feet. "It's not over," she cried. "They're still looking for Lily, and they're coming here." The room fell dead silent. Lily covered her mouth. Ghost whispered, "How did they find us?" Mia sobbed harder. "The boss you fought. He lived. He wants revenge. He sent more men. They followed me here. Please help. Please don't let them take me back." Reaper knelt and lifted her face gently. "You're safe here. No one, and oh, one, touches you again." But even as he said it, Ghost saw headlights outside, a lot of headlights. Diesel ran upstairs to the lookout window. His voice thundered to the clubhouse. "Reaper, 20 men outside, armed." Lily screamed. Mia collapsed in fear that Reaper's voice boomed. "Lock down the clubhouse." Members grabbed chains, bats, steel pipes, rifles, whatever they had. Ghost shut all the lights. Engines roared outside. Men shouted orders. Someone yelled through a megaphone, "Hell's angels! Hand over the girls, and we'll make your deaths quick." Lily trembled uncontrollably. Mia cried into her hands. Reaper stood tall. Ghost whispered beside him, "They're geared up. This isn't a rescue. This is a war." Reaper didn't blink. "No, this is a massacre, and we're not the ones bleeding tonight." Lily clung to Reaper's arm. What do we do?" He squeezed her hand, firm, warm, unshakable. "Stay behind me no matter what. Don't run. Don't hide. Stay where I can see you." Diesel came down the stairs, loaded with gear. "If they want war, they picked the wrong family." Ghost checked the windows. "They're trying to cut the power." Reaper nodded. "Good. They won't see what's coming." Outside, men spread around the building. Some at the gate, some climbing the walls, some moving toward the garage. .1 fired a bullet into the sky that bang. Mia screamed. Lily covered her ears. Reaper put one arm around Lily's shoulders and whispered in her ear, "Breathe. You're not dying here." Even though explosions were happening outside, his voice made her believe it. Reaper lifted his hand, signaling the club point 3, 2, 1 now. The bikers flung open the back doors and burst out into the night. Everything exploded into chaos. Diesel tackled 2 men at once, smashing their heads into the gravel. Ghost rolled behind a dumpster and slammed a metal rod into a man's ribs. Reaper charged straight at the leader. "You just made the last mistake of your life." The leader sneered. "Give me the girl." Reaper growled. "Over my dead body." "Gladly." He swung a machete. Reaper blocked with his forearm guard and punched him across the jaw, sending him sliding across the dirt. Ghost threw a biker chain around someone's neck and yanked him backward. Diesel grabbed a man trying to sneak toward the clubhouse door and roared, "Not today," before slamming him into a wall. Inside, Lily hugged Mia tightly. "Stay low," Lily said. "Don't look. Don't move." Mia sobbed. They never stopped coming." Lily shook her head fiercely. "No, the angels do." One of the gang members threw a Molotov cocktail at the side of the clubhouse. Flames erupted. Smoke filled the air. Diesel saw it and charged, but Lily saw it too. "No." "Diesel, behind you." A man raised a metal pipe right behind Diesel's head. Lily sprinted out of the building. ignoring every order, and screamed, "Diesel!" Diesel spun just in time to block the swing and punched the man unconscious. He grabbed Lily. "Kid!" I said, "Stay inside." She shook her head. "But you were going to get hurt." Diesel stared at her, surprised, touched, angry, protective, all at once. "Don't ever scare me like that again. Go back." But Lily didn't move. She pointed to the flames. "We have to stop the fire. Mia is still inside." Diesel looked at the fire, then at Lily, then at the men approaching. "Get the hose. Stay behind me." She nodded and ran, and for the first time, Diesel realized Lily wasn't weak. She was brave in a way most grown men weren't. Outside, the battle was brutal, but the Angels were winning. The trafficking ring wasn't ready for a full biker brotherhood to stand united. Reaper slammed the gang leader into the side of a van. Ghost knocked out another man sneaking up with a taser. Diesel kicked 2 men away from Lily. Then a gunshot. Everyone froze. Reaper turned slowly. The gang leader had pulled out a hidden pistol, and he was pointing at Lily. Lily froze. Mia screamed from inside. Diesel shouted, and oh! But Reaper didn't scream. He didn't panic. He simply walked forward, slowly, calmly, like a man with nothing left to fear. The gunman yelled, "Stop. I'll shoot her. I swear." Reaper didn't stop that. Lily's heart slammed in her chest. "Reaper, don't, please don't." Reaper stepped in front of Lily, shielding her with his entire body. The man laughed. "You'd die for her?" Reaper whispered, without hesitation. And then, bang! The shot went off. Lily screamed. But Reaper didn't fall, because Ghost already moved behind the leader and slammed his gun hand into the wall. The bullet fired into the sky. Reaper punched the leader so hard the man crumpled instantly. Silence fell. Then Mia ran outside and hugged Lily. "You're alive, you're alive." Lily sobbed into her shoulder. Reaper wiped blood off his knuckles and stood over the defeated leader. "Your whole operation ends tonight." Police sirens filled the night. Sheriff Collins arrived again, this time with full SWAT team. 50 men arrested, weapons seized, women rescued, and 2 teenage girls protected by the biggest monsters with the biggest hearts. The sheriff looked at Reaper. "I'm guessing you're not moving bodies this time." Reaper rolled his eyes. "They came to us. We just returned the favor." The sheriff nodded. "You saved 2 more girls tonight. You know that, right?" Reaper didn't reply. He didn't need praise. He just needed Lily and Mia to be safe. The next morning, Lily and Mia stood together at the clubhouse porch. Reaper, Diesel, and Ghost waited behind them. Mia whispered, "What do we do now?" Lily looked at Reaper. He lifted an eyebrow. "What do you want to do?" Lily swallowed. "I want to stay here. This feels like home." "You feel like home?" Mia nodded shakily. "Me too. I don't want to go back to a world where no one would have saved me." Reaper exchanged looks with Diesel and Ghost. Then he placed 2 leather jackets in their hands. Small, custom, beautiful. On the back, angel shield, sisters. Lily burst into tears. You're making us part of the family?" Reaper smiled. "You already are." Diesel hugged both of them. Ghost nodded approvingly. And just like that, 2 girls who survived hell found angels in leather vests. 3 weeks past point 3, peaceful, warm, unbelievable weeks. Lily and Mia were healing. Finally smiling. Finally sleeping without nightmares. Finally understanding what safety felt like. The angels treated them like family. Diesel taught Lily how to change brakes. Ghost taught Mia how to self-defend. Reaper made sure they never walked alone, never felt unsafe, never felt unprotected. But as the scars healed, a storm silently brewed, because one piece of the trafficking ring hadn't been found yet. The man who organized everything. The one who ordered Lily's kidnapping. The real boss. And he wasn't done. IT happened one quiet evening. Lily and Mia were playing pool inside the clubhouse. Reaper was fixing a carburetor. Ghost cleaned his gloves. Diesel grilled chicken outside. Everything felt normal, until Ghost suddenly stepped away from the window. "Boss, someone's outside." Reaper looked up. "Who?" Ghost's voice dropped to a cold whisper. "A man in a black coat. And he has Lily's photo in his hand." Lily froze, pool stick slipping from her fingers, her heart hammered in her chest. "No, it can't be him, it can't." Diesel walked inside fast. Reaper, this guy's trouble. Reaper stood up slowly, towering, controlled, dangerous. Keep Mia and Lily inside. Lock the back door. Lily grabbed his sleeve. Please don't go alone. He's worse than the others. He's the one who ordered everything. Reaper touched her shoulder gently. Kid, I'm not going alone. Diesel cracked his knuckles. Ghost pulled out a chain. 5 more angels joined behind them. Reaper walked outside, and the man in the black coat smirked. The boss spoke calmly, too calmly. So, the famous angels, I heard you're protecting my property. Reaper stepped forward, jaw tightening. They're not your property. They're human beings. The boss tilted his head. You cost me 2 warehouses, 20 men, and a whole business. Reaper didn't blink. You should have counted the cost before you touched them. The man smiled, chilling, dead cold. Hand them over, and I'll let your club live. Ghost muttered, Mistake. Reaper looked into man's eyes. I'll give you 1 chance. Leave. Now. The man smiled wider. I wasn't talking to you. He snapped his fingers, and suddenly 3 snipers stood on the highway bridge. 4 vans pulled up around the clubhouse. Dozens of armed men walked out, guns drawn. Diesel whispered, Boss, it's just turned into a war. But Reaper didn't shake. He didn't move. He simply said, Get behind me. Lily and Mia, watching from inside, burst into tears. Not again, please, not again. The boss shouted, Take the girls. Reaper whispered, Angels, move. And the world exploded. Ghost slammed a chain into one attacker's rifle, jerking away. Diesel tackled 2 men at once, smashing them into the dirt. Reaper sprinted toward the vans, knocking out the first 2 gunmen and dragging one behind cover. Gunshots screamed across the highway. Bullets shattered car windows. The angels fought like wolves, but the traffickers fought like a swarm. Inside the clubhouse, Lily grabbed Mia's wrist. We can't hide. They'll kill them. We have to help. Mia trembled. How? We're not fighters. We don't need to fight, Lily whispered. We need to think. She looked at the security panel, the emergency alarm system. We can call for backup, the sheriff, the other clubs, anyone. But then the power went out. Mia gasped. They cut the electricity. Lily grabbed a flashlight. We're not giving up. Outside, the battle turned brutal. Reaper fought through 5 men, protecting his brothers like a beast. But the traffickers kept coming. Ghost fell to one knee, bleeding from his arm. Diesel had a cut across his forehead. The angels were fierce, but outnumbered. Then the boss himself walked toward the clubhouse door, gun in hand. Reaper saw him. No, he sprinted. Faster, harder, more furious than any man alive. The boss aimed his pistol at the door. A.T. Lily, A.T. Mia. And Reaper roared, Touch them, and I end you. But the boss fired .1 shot, straight at Lily. Lily screamed. Reaper dove in front of her. Bang. The bullet hit Reaper in the shoulder. He collapsed to the ground. Lily fell to her knees beside him, screaming, N.O. Reaper, wake up, please. Diesel saw it happen and roared like a wild animal. Ghost limped forward, fury burning in his eyes. The angels charged with everything they had left. The boss pointed the gun at Reaper's head. You should have stayed out of this. Lily's voice cracked. Leave him alone. He didn't even look at her. He cocked the gun, and Lily snapped. She stood up, shaking, terrified, crying, but furious. This end with me. Not them. The boss smirked. You're not worth my bullet. He aimed back at Reaper, but Lily screamed, H-E-Y, look at me. He turned, just for a second, just long enough, because at that exact second, Mia burst out from behind him and stabbed his leg with a broken screwdriver. He screamed, dropped the gun, and Diesel lunged like a monster, grabbing him by the throat and slamming the ground. Ghost kicked the gun away. The boss tried to crawl. Reaper, bleeding, grabbed her by the coat collar. You touched the wrong girls. 1 punch, 2 punches. The man didn't get back up. Police sirens filled the night. Backup arrived. SWAT arrived. Ambulances arrived. The angels stood together, bruised, bleeding, exhausted, but unbroken. Lily held Reaper's face in her hands. Stay with me. Please stay with me. Don't leave me. Reaper managed a smile. I'm not going anywhere, kid. She cried harder, hugging him as paramedics surrounded them. Diesel helped Mia sit down, wiping blood from her forehead. Ghost leaned against the wall, breathing hard, staring at the sky. The sheriff ran over. What happened? Reaper looked at Lily and Mia. They fought, he whispered proudly. They saved us. The sheriff stared at the two girls, trembling, brave, covered in dirt and tears, and nodded. You're safe now. All of you. 1 month later. The rebuilt clubhouse glowed under the rising sun. Lily and Mia stood in front of the entire Hell's Angels chapter. Reaper's shoulder was healing. Diesel had stitches on his brow. Ghost had scars on his arm. But everyone was smiling, because today Lily and Mia were being patched in as honorary family. Reaper held up 2 custom jackets, black leather, red stitching, and on the back, Angel shield forever. Lily burst into tears the moment he placed the jacket on her shoulders. You saved us, she whispered. Again and again. Reaper shook his head. No, you saved US. Mia hugged Diesel so tight he nearly lost breath. Ghost whispered to both girls. This clubhouse was never a home until you two walked in. Lily looked at the whole club, her new family, her protectors, her angels, and said, We're not victims anymore. We're angels now. Engines roared behind them. The club cheered, and the sun rose over the highway. The day 2 broken girls became part of an unbreakable family. Folded hands, if this final part touched your heart. Backhand index point right, subscribe to Biker's Hype. Thumbs up like, and share this video with your friends Red Heart if you love Hell's Angels. Prove your love by sharing this story right now. Rocket help us reach 1,000 subscribers. We can do it together.